Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the morning stretch. Thank you for joining me this morning. I know we have a different background, but I was already here, so I figured I'd just go on a videotape from here. Hopefully, you all are doing fine. Good morning. Uh, wow, it's a lot of different buttons now on Facebook. I don't know if y'all have been seeing what Facebook has been doing for the last 2 days, but they've been doing a lot of changes, especially in your inbox. But that's another story for another day. Good morning, everybody. I hope everybody is doing wonderful. Good morning as the notifications are going out. Welcome to the morning stretch. First time on Madam CEO TV for our time of inspiration. And so I'm so glad that you all are able to get an opportunity to watch this. And I really do trust that something that I say today is really going to inspire you. I really want that to happen. Well, listen, as you all are coming in, I just want to say thank you all for basically your support up to this time. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be here for a long time. At least that's my plan. But I wanted to talk to you all today about something that was very, very important. I woke up with my heart in a different space, and I want to talk to you about it. I wanted to talk to you about it. I've got an opportunity to listen to the hearts of so many since pastoring. If those of you who don't know me, I am Tier Wilson McCrary. Again, welcome to the morning stretch. I am now I am a retired senior co-pastor and church planter of over 17 and a half years, full-time ministry 23, in the marketplace space for going on 30. And I've seen a lot. I've seen a lot, and I wanted to get an opportunity to just kind of share my heart about lies, dreams, and broken promises. Lot. So go on, do me a favor, if you don't mind, please do me a favor. Go on and take the time to, take the time to share this. I'm trying my best to pin a comment. Okay, awesome, awesome, awesome. Got it done. All right, good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the morning stretch. As you all are coming in, do me a favor. If this is your first time, don't let it be your last time. Make sure you go on and you push the like button. But I want to get a chance to talk to you. The morning stretch really is about you and I communicating about really, really getting our alignment with God. It's not about religion. It's not about church. It's not about organizational leadership. It's not about any of those things. It's really about what God really wants to talk to you, because how he wants to talk to you, because he really has something in mind for your future, and he wants to make sure that you don't abort it, and he wants to make sure that you're fulfilled by it. And so that's what I get an opportunity to do Monday through Thursday at 10:30ish in the morning Eastern Standard Time, and I get a chance to talk to you and help you reconnect and realign yourself with the plan that and the purpose for which you were put here on the earth. And that's always an amazing purpose. And I'm so grateful. I'm so sorry, I'm looking around. I'm so grateful that I get the opportunity to do this with you. This is, like I said, if this is your first time, do me a favor, hang out with me for a minute, because it's going to be good, all right? Good morning, Chucky. Good morning, Alicia. Good morning, Christy. Good morning, Terry. Good morning, Dr. Shari, I'm sorry. Good morning to all of you all. Come on in, come on in. Do me a favor. Everything is going really, really slow on Facebook today in terms of notifications. And if you don't mind, go on and push the share button. That would really, really help me. And please engage. I want you all to talk to me. Talk to me. Give me your comments. Give me your thoughts. Give me, your questions and all that kind of stuff. And as long as they are in sync with what we're talking about, I'm definitely going to address them. All right. Those of you who are on YouTube for the first time, this is our time of inspiration. It's called the Morning Stretch. And I'm going to be involving you all from now on instead of Periscope World. And we're switching over. And so I want to make sure that you all know exactly what's going on. I am a bishop in the Lord's church. I'm a former pastor. I'm a retired pastor. But most of all, none of that stuff really matters. You know what's most important? That I'm your sister. I'm your girl from around the corner. I'm the one that God will use, one of the ones that God will use to help stir your faith and ignite your passion for your purpose. It's just that simple. All right. And I'm going to talk to you from a God perspective. So thank you for joining in. Thank you, Nish, for joining in. Thank you, Dion. All right. So let me give you this one thing I want to let you know about. This is the month of August. And because we are in the month of August, I am preparing for something that's coming up that's very, very important. It's going to be vital to a lot of people. And that is the Mentoring Institute that I host once a year. Again, I host it once a year. It starts in September of every year. This is actually going to be our first year. And this is going to be a time where you and I will get an opportunity to not only talk on one-on-one, but we're going to time where I can assist you in helping making good decisions and understanding different perspectives and helping you have somebody that will mentor you to the next stage of your life. Excuse me for coughing. The next stages of your life, and I will hope that you will allow my wisdom, my understanding, my expertise, good morning, to go a long way with you, because I know that there's times, I know in my life, even there's a specific place I am in my life today that I really need to have somebody to talk to. I need to have somebody that I can bounce things off of, that will help me make the right decisions at the right time. So I don't delay the promises of God, and I don't delay fulfillment. I don't delay happiness, and I don't delay the things that God has planned for my life, or even that I've prayed for, desired, or worked very hard for. And sometimes you just need that little push. Sometimes you need that support. Sometimes you need solutions, and that's what I'm going to be giving. It's going to be a program. It's going to be $39 per month. You have to make a 3-month commitment. You can pay either $39 per month, or you can pay it all at one time. Won't make a difference. But you can go and register at madamceouniversity.com. Again, madamceouniversity.com. Again, Madam, M-A-D-A-M, ceouniversity.com. And you'll see me. I have white hair on a white dress. It just, that's the link. So as soon as you push the button, the link will open up and tell you more about what we're going to be covering during that time. We're going to start at the beginning of September, and there's not a lot of seats left. And so you want to make sure that you are part of that, okay? So listen, let me get into our topic today. I think it's very, very important that we are very, very mindful. No, let me say this before we get into that. I want to make sure that you guys, please, I need your support for MadamCEOCosmetics.com. And so make sure that you join me tonight at 8 p.m. I do my All Glammed Up. That's Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then on Saturday at 10:30 a.m. Come on and join us. Have a good time. Bring you something to drink, maybe your beverages. Invite your girlfriends, your guy friends, whoever you want to invite. And let's talk. We chat it up. We build a face. We create another iconic look with MadamCEOCosmetics.com and Madam CEO Cosmetics, which can be found there. And I really want your support. I really do want your support. So now we can get right into what I was talking about. When we are dealing with a lot of challenges that go on in our life, a lot of us don't consider the fact that one of the reasons why, and I should say one, maybe some of the reasons why we have not found a level of fulfillment that we really desire is simply because we have believed a lot of lies. We have abandoned a lot of dreams, and we've embraced and had to be partakers of many broken promises. Let me say that again. We have believed a lot of lies. We have had to, let me put it this way, endure a lot of, we have had to abandon a lot of dreams, believe lies, abandon dreams, and endure broken promises. So let me pull the energy up just a little bit, but I just wanted you to know what we're going to be talking about today. I understand. I'm sorry. Let me write something down really quick. God just put it in my heart. I want to make sure that I don't. That's one thing I don't play with. If God starts talking, I start writing. Okay, just a second. Okay. All right, I got it. All right. So with that said, one of the things that I have found that is very, very challenging for me, one of the things that I have found is very, very challenging for me is when I get the opportunity to talk to so many people. Good morning as you're coming in. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. As you're coming in, I get the opportunity over the years to minister, to talk to, encourage, and empower so many people from so many different walks of life, from so many, whether they are very, 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 very wealthy, or whether they don't have anything, whether they're new to living their own lives, or whether they are trying to redevelop or redefine their lives. People are just male, female, young, old, in different places in their life. But one thing I have learned that is common, and it's kind of, it doesn't break my heart, but it's kind of disheartening to me, is that we have gotten into a place as adults. This is for grown people, all right? That's what we do at the Morning Stretch. We talk to grown people. We have gotten to a place where we begin to believe the lies that people tell us. because we want to see the best in everybody. We want to believe that everybody has our best at heart. We want to believe that the story that people are telling us, that I'm talking about people that are close to you. I'm not talking about miscellaneous people you don't have a personal relationship with. I'm not talking about a Facebook relationship with, a social media relationship. I'm talking about real people that you get a chance to touch and talk, and you can pick up the phone and you can see them in person. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, David, how are you? Hey, Helen. And many of us, we have gone through some times where we have literally began to question, why am I even involved with this person? Why am I even believing this? This is scripture that's in Proverbs 13:12. It says, hope deferred makes the heart grow sick. Many of you all maybe not even heard of that scripture, but the Bible clearly talks about what happens when you have a hope that has been separated from who you are. Now, this is what I'm saying, and many of you, ladies, let me talk to you for a minute. I know that there's been times where maybe if you've been married or you've been in a relationship where somebody made you a promise, okay? And they had everything set up. It's kind of like that hamburger when you got your mind ready for that hamburger or that chicken. You go to the restaurant and say, we don't have any more meat. We don't have any more chicken. When you have somebody that come and they say, you know what, I'm going to do this for you. I'm going to make this happen. I'm going to open this door. And somebody begins to whisper in their ear, or life happens, or they just neglectfully forget, or they just choose out of spite to abandon the promise they've had. Thank you all for joining. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you, Brittany. Thank you, Shaniqua, for coming in. And a lot of us have begun to believe lies because we just want to connect. We want to have something that we can trust. And it's a shame that in our lives that we are surrounding ourselves around people that will continuously to our face tell us a story that say they love us, to say that they care about us. And what ends up happening is it causes you to second guess, is anybody telling you the truth? Is anybody going to be loyal? Is anybody going to really be honest? Is anybody really going to have my heart for their heart? Does that make sense? Is anybody really going to come and stand up for me? Is anybody going to be there for me? I talk to so many people who are going through divorce and they're going through a breakup, a relationship, and they tell me, you know what? I thought we would be together forever. I thought we would be married forever. I thought that we would be friends forever, not realizing, as I talked about yesterday, that there's a time and a season under heaven for everything. And a lot of times we take our mindset of being children into our adulthood, and we think that people are going to necessarily keep their word because they say they're going to. One of the things that I have learned, that if you believe a person and they show you who they are, you don't have the right to be mad because they don't measure up. But you do owe it to yourself and have the right to say, you know what, even though you don't measure up, I cannot expect more out of you than what you're willing to give. And so what happens is we begin to believe the lies of people. But let's go a little deeper. We begin to believe the lies of the enemy. Go on and do me a favor, and please share this with as many people as you can. I would really appreciate that. Let's get some more people in this room. Let's get some more people in this room. I do not know why. But Facebook is really, really acting a mess today. Wow. Hold on. It will not let me do anything. It's not letting me do anything. It's not even letting me share. So that's odd. Okay. So anyway, you guys go on and please share for me. Push the button. Go on and share. All right. But what ends up happening is we also believe the lies of the enemy. The enemy comes, the Bible says this, it says, thank you so much, Style by Lise. It says the enemy comes, the enemy, whoever your enemy is, whatever your enemy is, and because we have people who are literally watching from all over the world, your enemy may be your friends. Your enemy may be your family. Your enemy may be your coworker or your boss. Your enemy may be the person you went to school with. The enemy may be your next door neighbor. The enemy may be yourself. The enemy may be your mindset, your expectations, or the lack thereof. But in most cases, the enemy is your enemy. The enemy is the enemy. Y'all understand what I'm saying? The enemy is the devil. All right. Some people don't believe in the devil, but I do believe in evil, an evil entity that does exist, and it works counteractive to the will of God for your life. And it's amazing how I listen to it. And this part does break my heart. Wow. I listened to this one woman, and she said this to me. She said, Bishop, she said, when I was a little girl, I believed that I could be Miss America. I can be a doctor. I believe that I could be a mom and I could be a wife, and I was going to live happily ever after, just like in the stories. I believed that I could have that kind of life. She grew up with the Huxtables. Okay. So that kind of tells you. And so she believed that being affluent, being black was possible, being successful, being in a successful, non-dysfunctional family was possible, because that's not what she was raised in, but she believed it. And then what ended up happening is she had people in her lives that was self-serving that came, and I really believe that it was the enemy's plan to have people who she believed in, and this is just part one, that she actually believed in, to come and try to seduce her out of her promises. Good morning, John. How are you? Send my regards to your wife, love. And she had people that would tell her, well, you know what? How is it that you're going to dream so lofty? No one is to school. She wanted to go to school. Actually, she wanted to be an attorney in a big city and up north. That's all I'm gonna say, because y'all might figure out who it is. All right. And she decided, she said, you know what, that's exactly what I'm going to do. But she had people who would cause her heart to grow sick. Remember, the scripture for today is um, found in, Proverbs 13:12. Hope deferred causes the heart to grow sick. And her heart began to grow sick because the people who should have been there to push her on, the people who should have been there to encourage her, even though they had never seen it, had never made it, their job, they felt instead, was to come and remind her of what she could not do. Remind her of where she came from. Remind her of her environment has never produced anything like that. Remind her, yes, some of y'all already know who I'm talking about. Remind her that there's no way that she could get to the stature and the status that she was. She had parents who had never gotten to this place. And so she decided to go into something called journalism. I'm going to stop right there. Y'all already know who I'm talking about. And she had people who had broken her dreams. She had people who had molested her. She had people who should have protected her. She had people who should have spoken life into her, not decide they're going to be jealous of her, not decided they're going to try to break her spirit, hello, Lanika, yes, that's right, John, you got it. She had people who was there to just remind her, but you know what, your eyes are set too far, and your nose is too big, and your hair is so nappy, and although you're intelligent, and although your IQ, if we got it tested, was probably be the sum total of the entire family, no tea and no shade, you can't possibly do what it is that you're talking about doing. Ain't no man that's fine and tall and statuesque gonna want you. Matter of fact, your body doesn't even work. Natty, I am believing God for you, for your business. I hope you and I get a chance to talk before you sell it off. I hope that we can do that. All right. And I want you all to recognize who that woman is. And John said it. It is Oprah. And I remember sitting in a room, even with what's baby's name? Oh God. I cannot think. Monique, guys, a comedian. We went to one of her shows here in Atlanta when she had her show here. I want to say probably about 8 years ago. And she would tape here. And good morning. And I remember off camera, she was sharing her story of how some things had happened to her. And if she had not apprehended the lying thief that was coming to her, as well as Oprah, they would have believed that they cannot potentially become the thing that God had placed in their heart to be. There's things that God has placed in your heart years ago when you were a young person or a younger person. There's things and dreams that if you would go back into the recesses of your mind, if you would go back into old journals, if you would go back into, we used to call them diaries back in the day, if you would go back and you begin to read the things that you had put in your journal when your brain wasn't hurting, when your heart wasn't hurting, and you allowed yourself to dream, reconnect to your dreams, it allowed you not reconnect to dream. Before life came and told you that kind of stuff don't happen, what you need to do is you need to be focused. Hey, babe, you need to be focused on what it is that I need you to do right now. This is life talking to you. I need you to focus on going to school and doing something that's going to make you a lot of money and not going to bring you fulfillment. I need you to focus on marrying somebody just because the family said that's a good man or that's a good woman, not because you love them. I need you to go and do and position yourself where everything is about you positioning yourself and never getting an opportunity to sit and smell the roses. Never get an opportunity to even encourage yourself because you're moving so quick, and the people you're moving so quick with are the same people who are reminding you of their problems, and you're wondering, man, if I do that, is that going to happen to me? Listen, I had somebody to tell me not too long ago, and as many of you all know, I just started a cosmetic line, a full cosmetic line, eyeshadows, we're working on lips now, eyelashes, blushes, and everything else. And I remember, hopefully, okay, there we go. I remember somebody asking me, why would you want to do something like that? Why would you want to do? We have enough cosmetic companies out here. Excuse me? How dare you? And first off, how dare you think I'm going to let you come and talk me out of my dreams? This is an intrusive thought that God placed on the canvas of my imagination without me asking. I asked him for another $1 million idea. I'd already had a $1 million idea that we've already multiplied millions with. But I needed another $1 million idea. And here comes somebody, why would you do that? You know, we got Fenty Beauty. We got all these other companies. We got Beverly Johnson. I don't understand why you don't just, why don't you support them? Well, I do support other people, but I had to stop myself in a conversation. How dare you think that I'm going to allow the devil that you're listening to come and throw salt on my dreams? How dare you think that I'm going to fall for a lie, a propagated lie that says there's no room, there's no more room at the top? I'm here to tell you there's room at the top. What I'm also here to tell you is it's too crowded at the bottom, and some of you all need to, not some of you all, every last one of you all need to reconnect with what the dream was that you always knew that you could do, that you no longer decided you were going to do because life happens. You know, I think about broken promises. Again, the scripture says how the heart grows sick, hope deferred. Hope deferred just simply means you had a desire to do something. You saw that there was an ability for it to happen. You saw that there was somebody that you can look at and say, you know what? Let them encourage me, even if they're doing something that has nothing to do with what you want to do. You know, I have people and educators that I get an opportunity to talk to as a business coach as well. And I had one that came and she told me, and as a matter of fact, I need to go call and check on her today. But she came to me and she talked to me and she was talking about how she used to love education, but because the educational system in the city that she is so bad and there's no support, that she said, you know what, I really would love to open up a charter school, but I don't know if it's going to work. I don't know if people are going to support it. You know, I know how to start it. I know how to get everything going, but I just don't know if the people will send their children because it still will be private pay. And I began to remind her, let's look at LeBron James. Now, I understand you don't have the multiplied millions of dollars, almost billions of dollars that LeBron James has, but it really wasn't even about the money, because you can always raise money. It was really about connecting to the dreams. And I really believe that when you make a decision to connect to the dream that God has placed inside of you, when you make the decision to take that chance and take that opportunity, when you make the decision that you're not going to believe the lie of the enemy that comes and tells you it's too late, that comes and tells you it's impossible, that comes and tells you you're too this and you're too that, or it comes and tells you, you're not enough this and you're not enough that you go and you say, you know what, I am at least going to give it a chance. I remember when my children, my oldest son, he came to me, and for years I had been saying, Stephan, I really want you to move to Cleveland. I really want you to move from Cleveland, Ohio. I want you to move to Atlanta because you have dreams that's bigger than your city. And let me say this, some of you all have dreams. Thank you, Rhonda. Some of you all have dreams that are so big, and you have convinced yourself that it's so wrong. It's about a lot of things, waiter, sniper. It's about a lot of things. It's not about black anything. This is not what this is about, all right? But many of you all have had so many people to come, like that lady, like myself, to remind you of how you're not enough, remind you all the pieces that are missing. And I'm here to encourage anybody, any race, any color, any class, any economical status, any educational status. If you have had the ability to dream it once, and you see that it's still nagging at you, you see that it's still gnawing at you, when you're sitting at your cubicle, you're saying, dang, I'm looking at somebody else, or I heard about somebody else do it, wish that I could have done that. Stop saying it in past tense. Start reconnecting. My son, I told him, I said, baby, you have a dream that's bigger than your city. That's nothing against the city we're coming from. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, born and raised. But I understood that there was a time where in order for me to live out what God wanted me to do, the next stages of my life, that I had to be willing to go outside of my comfort zone. And I keep talking to y'all about getting outside of your comfort zone. Y'all go and please, please, please share. Some of the dreams you all have is not even directed, it cannot flourish in the city you are in. Some of the dreams some of the dreams and the desires that you have cannot be fulfilled around the people that you're around. because they're constantly negative. They're constantly in a woe is me victimization mentality. They're constantly whining and complaining. I'm going through. I don't know how I'm really struggling. Now, listen, that doesn't mean that they're not struggling. But here's the thing. Instead of looking at I'm going through, if I'm going, okay, I'm gonna use, let me see. I'm gonna use this tube. This is life. All right. This is life here. Life is this. So I'm going to turn it this way. This is you. This is a lipstick tube. All right. And you saying, oh, I'm going through. I'm going to make it. And you may not know how you're going to make it because you haven't tapped in and asked God, what's your plan? Because none of this caught you by surprise. It caught me by surprise. I didn't know it was going to come. I didn't know I was going to have to go through this. Thank you so much, Rhonda, for sharing. I was going to have to go through this bad breakup. I didn't know I was going to have to go through this bad report. I didn't know I was going to lose my house. I didn't know I was going to be, having to deal with the fact that my body is not operating. It was going to the way it's going. I didn't know my kids was going to get strung out. I didn't know that they were going to break my heart. I didn't know, but God knew. And you're saying, I'm going through. And God is giving you the stamina because life has a way of pushing you all the way to the other side. But you're still talking about you and went on. I'm still going through. I'm going through. That's fine. We all go through something. But I need you all to start looking at things from a different perspective. Hey, Crystal, you got to start looking at things from a different perspective. If you're going through, go through, but learn the lessons as you're going through. This doesn't mean that you did something wrong. It just means that there's lessons along the way of life that teach us and position us so that when we get to the other side, we are actually more able, more capable, and more matured in this area, because life has cycles. Life has a way of repositioning and re-engaging you in the conversational dance called Will You. When I was a little girl, we used to play this game called Mother May I. Anybody else used to play that game? Anybody else used to play that game, Mother May I? If you used to play that game or you heard of that game, put me in the comments. If you've ever heard that game, Mother May I. And the whole crust of the game was somebody was the leader and they played the pseudo mother and they would say, Mother, may I take 5 steps? Mother, may I take 2 steps to the right? Because you had a goal that you wanted to get to before everyone else. All right. At least you didn't want to get left behind. Well, many times life comes and it says, I'm here. But instead of saying, may I give myself permission to pursue, I believe the lie that says it's too late. I believe the lie that says nobody's going to want me. I believe the lie that says I can't get that chance. That moment in time is over. I never forget one of my girlfriends, and she is a much older woman than I'm 50, and so she was one of my mother's friends, but she became one of my friends too, as a way of my mom. And I never forget, I want to say that Miss Mary is probably, if I'm 50, Miss Mary has to be about 72, 73 years old. And I remember when she decided that she was going to get a divorce. And I'm like, you've been married to this man 150 years, over 30 years. And she decided, I'm going to get a divorce because I've gotten to a place in my life where I realize that I just don't have to exist in a marriage. I deserve to be happy. Wait a minute. Somebody who believes that they don't have to stay married because they're no longer happy and the person is not willing to put in the work. Wait a minute, Mary, what you doing? What you doing? You know you love him. Yeah, I love him and he loves me, but I am no longer fulfilled in my relationship with him. I'm no longer happy. He's no longer happy. We argue more than we get along. We're fighting with each other, not physically, but we're fighting emotionally. We're tearing each other apart. And the love that I had for him, the type of love, romantic love, I have a tolerant love. I have an agape love, but it's not the romantic love that I should have for my husband. This is what Mary was saying. So Mary decides, she calls me, said, Tia, guess what? I got a divorce. I was like, what? Well, she said, no, I didn't tell nobody I was going to get it. I just went on and got it. And I was like, I thought we talked about this. She said, we did, but it wasn't going to change anything. I made a decision. And I said, what made you make that decision? I stopped believing the lie that I had to live in a loveless relationship. I said, but he loved you. He said, but not in the way that I need to. I know that helps somebody. Some of us have been in relationships that are love-less, that are romance-less, that are like-less. And these relationships are not always romantic relationships. It may be your employee-employer relationship. You're not fulfilled anymore, and you know that you need to do something different, but you won't do it. But let me give you part B of Mary's story. She said, now, if he decides he want to get his entire life together, and he wants to measure up to the kind of man that I know that he can be because I've been married to him for 30 years, then what I will do is I will consider it. But no longer will I abandon my dreams to have a happy and fulfilled marriage. I would rather be by myself than to be with somebody who will not treat me right. I would rather be by myself than to be with somebody that when I see them, I don't even like their existence. I would rather be by myself than sit up in the midnight hour and pray because I'm fixing myself up and hoping that he notices me. I would rather be by myself than to do all of that and look at a man who looks up from his newspaper and say, hey, babe, what you cook for dinner? And looks back down at his newspaper and decides he wants to talk to his boys and play space. I would rather be by myself. And I couldn't even argue with her. But guess what? Here's the story. You think that man didn't start changing? He could have changed when he was in the marriage. But he decided that she wasn't worthy of what it took to help her have the kind of life that he promised her she would have when she took his hand and said, yes, I will. Thank you for coming on in. Welcome to the morning strike, right, Crystal? And that's exactly what she said. She quoted that sentiment. I can do bad all by myself. I'm talking to men and women here. Some of you all have been doing bad for so long that it's become your norm. Some of you all have been struggling for so long that it's become your norm. I'm just going to be content in all things. That's not what the scripture is talking about. What's happened is your heart has been made sick. Proverbs 13:12 says, a hope deferred. Your hope, your belief. Your desire is still there, but the belief is speaking louder than your desire, and your desire is connected to your dreams. And you have taken the time to abandon your dreams because your belief and the lies of what's been told to you begins to read louder and a higher pitch and deeper depth in the seat of your soul than what it is that you know you can do. Do you remember what it's like before somebody told you you couldn't believe, you couldn't do what you wanted to do? Let me ask somebody this. If somebody is not afraid, I need to talk to a few people that are not afraid, that don't mind putting in the comments. I want some of y'all to go back to when you were 12 years old, when you were about to come out of high school, and put down what was a dream, what was an occupation, what was one thing that you wanted to do as an adult. Before they told you you could not. Before you were convinced that it could not be done. Before you were told, nope, that probably has to wait. I want you bold enough to go on in the comments and write down what you wanted to be when you grew up. What you wanted to accomplish when you grew up. Good morning, Dr. Miriam. Good morning. You wanted to be a hairstylist. Now, not what you are, what you wanted to be. This means that you have not done it. Come on, Yolanda, thank you for saying it. You wanted to be a doctor. Terry says, I wanted to be a singer. Hey, you're talking good. I'm glad, Tish. I'm glad. I wanted to be an actress and a writer in Hollywood. Somebody, I wanted to be an OBGYN nurse. Come on, y'all keep writing it down. I wanted to be a medical doctor. Come on, write down in the comments. I wanted to be. And y'all share this. Please share this because this is going to help somebody. I wanted to be a writer. I wanted to be my own boss. This is what I wanted to be. When I was younger, I wanted to be this, but what happened was life came and it sucked the hope out of me. It convinced me that I could not do it. You wanted to be an all-around entertainer. Listen, it convinced me, you know what? I got these kids now. I got pregnant out of wedlock. Dang. Sherry, you wanted to own your own business. Lucia said, I wanted to own my own company. Come on, keep it talking. Yolanda said, I wanted to be the author of my own book. I wanted to do these things. I told y'all before, I wanted to be an entertainment lawyer. My mother wanted to make sure that I had a string of funeral homes because she wanted to insure the bag. I ain't mad at mama. My dad thought big and they produced big. They told me I was Christian enough. Oh, you wasn't Christian enough. Listen, let me help you understand something. Who else wants to write down something? I'm just talking about to bold people. I'm just talking to bold people because I understand some of y'all say, I'm not on here. I'm just on here to listen. Y'all, this is what I'm talking about. When you don't start releasing what's in your heart and your mind, you stay caged. And this is what this is about. This is to stretch you from your place of comfort, to help you re-engage to what you want to do, what it is that you should be doing to get realignment. You wanted to be a lawyer, Veronica, a criminal defense attorney. You listen. Let me tell y'all. Let me speak to the lawyer. Let me speak to the writer. Let me speak to the author of your own book and your owner of your own business. Let me speak to the all-around entertainer. Let me speak to the medical doctor, to the OBGYN nurse. Let me speak to the writer and the actress. Let me speak to a doctor. Let me speak to the singer. Come on, let me speak to the hairstylist. Let me speak to all of y'all right now. Let me speak to y'all. Let me just take a little time and speak to y'all real quick. I'm talking to the ones that were bold enough to do it. Because I'm about to give you something. If you didn't write something down by now, don't write anything. If you didn't write something down by now, don't write anything. Because I'm about to speak to some of y'all, and I'm about to do something for free for y'all if y'all want to take me up on it. I want to help you reconnect to your dreams. It paralyzed me for years, but I came to myself, and it just happened 2 years ago. Teacher and a motivational speaker. Hey, Dr. Chris, I want y'all to understand something. And I'm going to spend, many of you all know that I am a 6-figure coach. That's what I do. I assist people in building their businesses and helping them connect to their dreams using their creativity. Those people who put the information that wrote before Anthony said, okay, we're going to do with this. All right. Right. Rhonda just said the last statement. I want to be an inspirational speaker for women. Sorry, I'm finishing a nerve block. I understand that, Rhonda. But anybody above Rhonda's comments that I just read, I'm going to gift to you some time to sit down with me. I'm going to help you reconnect to your dreams. Because I was that person who, as I got older, I realized that my desire to do that particular occupation changed. But the bigger thing was I allowed my life to dictate to me what I was going to do, what I was going to imagine, what I was going to produce, the kind of life that I was going to live. I let life dictate that to me instead of me dictating to my life what it was going to produce. And so if you want to sit down and talk to me, we can do a one-on-one, and it's absolutely free. It's absolutely free. We're going to talk for about 15 minutes, all right? But I want you to see how you can start reconnecting to your dreams. If that's you, go on in my inbox and just tell me I'm one of the commenters, or I commented. All right. Of course, I'm gonna go back and check because I'm sure somebody gonna lie. But I see who's already on here. And understand this: when I decided that although I'm not going to be, because God said, although you're looking at that to be an entertainment lawyer because you want to have a fallback from if you don't end up being a Grammy Award-winning singer, that's your fallback. But really, why did you want to be that? Now, here's the next question for all of you bold thinkers. Why did you want to be that? Because it was either something that you found enjoyable, something that you found interesting. Many to you all, it was the ability to know that you can earn a certain level of living. Okay, whatever your reason is, I want you to think about the last 5 years since you've been an adult. What have you dreamt that if situation were different, hear this, and I want you to comment below, if the situation were different, I would actually do this. If I had more money, if I could go back to school and not have to worry about how I'm going to take care of my family and pay my bills, I would actually do this. This is what I would be doing. Whether it was traveling the world, or whether it was building a hospital, whether it was paying for people to go to school, it doesn't make a difference. Years ago, go back as far as 5 years ago. So we already went back, some of y'all 20 and 30 years. Come up just to 5 years ago. If money was not an issue, what is it that you would have done? You would be doing right now. If you didn't have to work at the place you worked right now, what would you be doing? Because I want to show y'all something. Y'all write it below. Write it below. Think about that. If 5 years ago somebody told you, I will, here's a checkbook to take care of whatever you need to take care of. What is it that you want to do? Write it in the comments below. I need y'all to come on. Write it in the comments below. Let's make this quick. I want to talk to these people. You've been traveling. All right, Cheryl. Okay. All right. Everybody, y'all start writing in the comments below. 5 years ago, what would you be doing? If somebody told you, hey, this is what I would, just 5 years ago, had situation be different, this is actually what I want to be doing right now. Because what you wanted to do as a child may not fit for how you progress as an adult. So again, we're shifting. Yesterday, we've been keep putting the comments down there. We began to talk about yesterday how God has the right to reassign your life. He has a right to take you on a different course if you will be willing to listen to him and let him be Lord. Let him lead, because the footsteps of your footsteps are already ordered by God, but sometimes we have a tendency to make a detour. All right. All right. So some of y'all, let's look at what some of the people are saying. Let's look at what some of the people are saying. All right. Cher said traveling. My niece Courtney, she said interior design. Rodney said I would go back to school and travel the world and speak to women about relationships. All right. Hey, Kia. Terry said I would travel the world evangelizing people with my voice, encouraging others to be better. Net said I would start a homeless shelter. Crystal said produce my first film. Hey, Davita. Tina said I would open up my own store. Lucia said a women's shelter for the abused. Yolanda said I would travel and my business grow into 6 figures. Who else wants to put something comment down there? Because I'm going to bring this home for you. 501, Jamel said, I would have a 501c3 feeding the masses. Wow. Now, let me ask you this. Just because the money is not, no, the money is there. Let me share this. The money is there. But just because you don't see it, let me ask you this. Why haven't you pursued it? Be honest. This is not a rebuke. I just want to understand your mindset. Why haven't you pursued it? Why have you still allowed at this place you are now to not do it? Many people might say it's money. Many people might say I don't have support. There's plenty of money out here. I know how to get you money. Come on, y'all. You're not alone. Let's do this. That's right. Fear of success. Oh, wow. Yolanda. Wow. Wow. Oh, my God. That is the number one reason many of us don't do things, because we believe the lies that if we try, it won't work. That's why I'm talking about this today. I believe fear and lack of motivation, being real, support and fear. That is the common denominator. That was the common denominator for me, y'all. I'm not pushing you out there on your own. You're not on the island. I'm on the island with you. The difference is I decided that I was going to look on the backside of the island and realize that there was something that I could build that could get me back into the deep water where other people, where the yacht owners were, where the people who may have believed that at one time, they got beyond what people believed and what people thought. They got beyond the opinion stage. See, in the deep water, you get to a place, it's not overnight, but you get to a place where you don't give into that people-pleasing spirit. You don't get into you stop having conversations with the spirit of fear. You stop allowing the frequency of the enemy to come and whisper sweet foolishness in your ear. Fear is the biggest denominator. Thank y'all for being so honest. That was big for y'all. Somebody says, wait a minute, I think I read one that says fear of what people think of us. Guess what? Who gives a flying flip? You know why I said that? Because they go on with their life and they don't care or ask permission about you and what you think about them. See, here's the thing. You have to value the assignment that's on your life, that's dreams on the inside of you that have not been manifested. You got to look at the fact that I'm going to stand before God. That's my talent. Y'all remember the story of the man with the 5 talents, the 2 talents and the 1 talent? The man said, the man that was over everything. He said this, he said, at least you could have at least taken that one gift you had and gave it to the money changers. Those are traders. Those are business people who knew how to multiply the gift. At least you could have taken that and gave it to them. What is that saying? At least, even if you are fearful, even if you think I'm going to come take it from you, even if you think you're not going to get the fair shake from it, even if you think somebody else has a better opportunity than you, even if you think somebody has more things than you do to make it come to pass, at least there is somebody waiting on the wings that you had not considered. I, me, she, Tier, Bishop, that God has sent into your life to assist you in recognizing, even if you just had that one thing, that if you put it before the right person, maybe they can help you see from a perspective that at least you can multiply that and start there. So many of us have decided that we're not going to start anywhere. We just gave up. So many of us have decided, you know what? I got these kids. I didn't go to school. I can't be a lawyer. I said last night on one of my, something I was talking about, I said, well, maybe that was yesterday afternoon. Even if I took 8 years and I was 60 years old, I'm going to live to be 118. But even if I took 8 years and I'm 60, I go to 68. The wisdom that I have, the things, the experience that I've experienced, and I decide I want to go back to law school, it's never too late. And I know y'all know this, y'all heard this, but you have convinced yourself for you that I don't have enough. I don't have enough money. I know millionaires who are willing to give you hundreds and thousands of dollars right now. Well, I don't have my good credit. So what? I got to fix for that. You can go to MadamCEOUniversity.com and pick up the credit vault. I'll walk you through how to get your credit up 100 points in 90 days. For under $99, because some of y'all paying these companies to pay, y'all got people, or y'all selling credit, that praise be unto God. But I already paid the person $2,000 to give me all the letters that the attorneys send. I gave you all the lists. I tell you everything, how to get everything off your credit and how to rebuild your credit, and even the stuff that the credit report don't want you to know. Not the credit report. Yeah, the people who do the credit reports don't want you to know. Listen, let me help y'all understand something. There is a solution, but sometimes the broken spirit, the broken heart, the deferred hope, the disconnected dream begins to convince you, how dare it, convince you that what it's telling you is actually the truth. Well, let me tell you this, it's a lie. It's a lie. Somebody put it in the comments. It's a lie. It's a lie. It's a lie. Thinking about opening up a store now in fear of me not being able to maintain it is stopping me. Guess what? Okay, let me ask you this. Tina, you ever heard, let me make sure that, Tina, have you ever heard of the story about the lepers in the Bible? Hi there from Russia. Hello, Natalia. Welcome. Anybody ever heard the story of the lepers in the Bible? The story of the lepers? The lepers, they were cast off. You're not supposed to be anywhere near the people. And when people came near you used to say, unclean, 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 unclean. Some of us need to be saying that about our brains. Unclean, unclean. Not because you're nasty, but because it's not working correctly. Unclean, unclean. And they encountered this guy named Jesus. And he said, go and show yourself to the priest. Now, logic would say, wait a minute. You're trying to get me killed. I can't go inside the city gate. If I go inside the city gate, they're going to kill me. It's bad enough I got to live without an ear or without a nose. My arm, my fingers fell off. Because this is what happens with leprosy. Stuff starts to fall off. It's bad enough that I smell because my body is constantly rotting. It's bad enough. It's bad enough. You want me to do what, Jesus? You want me to go and show myself to the priest? Why would you want me to put myself in jeopardy? Why would you want me to set myself up for failure? Why would you want me to go and walk into an ambush and I kill myself? Why would you want me to give people an opportunity to do harm to me? Because in that day, it was told that if you see somebody that's unclean, you can stone them to death. Hello, Dr. Miriam from Wales. Hello. Thank you for joining the morning stretch. Okay, so check this out. Check this out. I got your answer, Veronica. But here's the message that Jesus told the guys. He said, listen, go and show yourself to the priests. And the Bible goes on, says in the story, and as they went, they were healed. Hear this. This is a part that people, they don't focus on. They focus on the part that Jesus said and the fact that they went. But they don't, that they healed, but you don't focus on the process of getting to the place of promise. If God has put it in your heart to do something, if there's an idea, see, here's the thing. We got to stop thinking that if I open up something, it's got to be for the rest of my life. It may be for a season in your life. My first $1 million business was for a season of my life. It was for 5 years. But the problem is you don't receive the promise, the goal. You don't receive what it is, the fulfillment that you thought you could have because you never went. You're allowing the enemy's lies to convince you that if I even try, it's not going to work. But what if you do try? How about you deciding that the greater one that lives on the inside of you is the one that has already said through a covenant before you were even born that I've given you the ability to get wealth. He's putting these ideas in you to get wealth. Have you noticed that Jesus only chose 12 men that were businessmen? Did you notice that the women that followed Jesus around and took care of his every necessity, including the financial needs that he may have had, did you notice that they were all wealthy women? Okay? Did you all notice that? See, we got to stop looking over the things that validate or do not convict us of making the type of change. The Bible says to be ye transformed by the renewing of our minds. Every single day we have to renew my mind. Yes, maybe I did not think it through the last time. Maybe I didn't have a good plan. No, I don't need to have a business. Listen, I made millions of dollars and I ain't had the first business plan. I have a plan, but I don't have a formal business plan. When I wrote a formal business plan and sent it up to the Small Business Administration that the person that was over it helped to write and still denied me from the loan. I figured out then, my best plan is the plan of God. Now, God, me and you, we're going to partner together. You're going to be the CEO. I'm going to be right up under you. Tell me what we're going to do and bring me before great men as you promised that you would. See, that's why it's important that you sow. Because I understand God uses people. He says, I'm going to open up the windows of heaven. I'm going to pour you out a blessing. He says, I'm cause men to give unto your bosom, pressed down, shaken together, running over. Some of the problem is that you guys have not sowed. And I'm not trying to play with you. I'm not. But I have learned through sowing. In order for me to reap, I've got to be willing to say, hey, I'm going to sow and I'm going to target my gift. And some of y'all need to be sowing right now. And if this is being a blessing to you, go on and pick up your phone and go on and go to the Cash App. Make sure you come on back and put in the $ into my name, TYEAR, or go to PayPal, paypal.me, and sow your seed. And then name your harvest. Some of you all have not named your harvest. You don't have any seed in the ground, in good ground. Some of y'all got seed in grounds that is so hard, it can't produce nothing. It's so dry, it can't produce nothing. Some of you all have seeds in the lives of people that can't produce nothing. And they making you empty promises. They ain't going to do nothing. They ain't did nothing for themselves. They don't have it for themselves. And they're telling you, yeah, you can do it. But then but they have people around them that could potentially help you and they won't even introduce you to them. They're the wrong people. Again, that's right. So where you want to go. I know and I understand in order for me to get where I got to get to, I got to sow my time, my treasure, and my talent. I got to sow my belief system. I got to sow my faith. I got to sow my attention. I got to sow so many things so God can see I'm playing or I am participating in the plan where people can now be attracted to me. God has already told us how he's going to attract people to us. But there's certain things we've got to do first. Some of you all are wondering, how am I going to pay for this? And some of you all are sowers. I'm not assuming that you're not. But look at how your seed is sown. Is it sown grudgingly or out of necessity because I need, so I'm going to do this? So my attitude is, I don't know. That's a grudgingly he's talking about. I don't know if I want to do this. No. You sow with an anticipated hope. God, I am participating. Thank you, Rhonda, for sowing. I'm participating in your plan of reciprocity because I need you to raise up somebody somewhere to use their power, their influence, their favor, and their fortune to help me. God, I know that I'm willing and ready to take a chance. God, I'm willing and ready, even if I got to call Bishop and I say, Bishop, can you share with me what I need to do to get on the path of fulfilling my dreams? I don't want to listen to the lies. I don't want my hope to be deferred. I don't want my heart to grow sick. I don't want to sit here and hope and wish and pray and say, God, did he do it? And I'm going to clap 5 times and I'm going to shout on the word yes, and I'm gonna do something else. That ain't got nothing to do with what God told us to do on how to get what it is we need to get. He made a promise. He said, I'm going to give you the ability to get wealth, to establish my covenant. This wasn't even about you. This was about a covenant that he made to your forefather Abraham. You are engrafted into that body. You're engrafted into that family. Stop acting like it's not a part of your privilege. Stop thinking like a pauper. Stop thinking of like, even stop thinking of like somebody says, well, you know what? Oh, woe is me. Mephibosheth, I'm broken. Somebody dropped me. You're rehearsing all the things that happened in the past, but you are not considering the fact that your future could be so than what has already been. Hey, Raymond. Some of you have gone through great trauma, have gone through great loss, gone through great heartbreak. Some of you have been through hell and back. Some of y'all, if you told your whole entire story, people would think you're lying. But that's the story. That's what validates your strength that you can get through this. That's what validates the fact that you are able to do this. You're able to be girded up with the loin of truth. Your loin of truth is what God said about you, not the sweet foolishness that the enemy is whispering in your ear. Again, you've abandoned your dreams and you're taking on the truth as though it's a lie. You can't do it? You can't write a book? Who told you you can't write a book? Who told you you can't be a bestseller? You don't have to be somebody famous to be a bestseller. Who said you cannot get pulled up? You cannot be picked up by a national publishing house? Who told you that? Adam, who told you were naked? Who told you? Fear? Who told you? Why are you listening to fear? Why are you allowing fear to talk to you louder than you're allowing God to talk to you? Well, I'm not sure I'm hearing God. You lying. You lying. Now you taking on the personality of the ultimate liar. Stop lying. I'm being harsh. This is the morning stretch. I'm not fussing at you. I'm making you stretch. I'm making you grow up. I'm challenging you to do something, the great thing that's in your heart to do. I'm challenging you to stretch yourself. I've got a team of people right now. I put it out there. I said, I'm looking for 50 people that I can help become six-figure earners and teach them how to do foreign exchange trading. I'm looking for 50 people that I can teach you on your phone a skill that you can take for the rest of your life that the top 5% of the world know and the 95% don't. I want to teach you something. And I had people to tell me, I want to know, go in my inbox. And I tell them, in order to get access to the tools and the $195, I don't have $195 and the communication stopped. You don't have $195? You didn't even ask if I would even gift it to you. You didn't even ask if I was sponsored. See, you cut off your blessing. There's a phrase that says you cut off your nose to spite your face. So now you're going around with a big old gaping hole. I'm not sponsoring anybody now. But I will teach. I'm still looking for 50 people. As a matter of fact, I'm looking for 3 people that I can show them how to make $5,000 a month. If that's something that's you, go in my inbox. It's going to take you to make $195 educational investment because you need to get the education. You need to be able to get the platform, so where the classes are. All right, it's $195 one time. The rest, I can get you a scholarship for the rest. All right, but I am taking and teaching people how to do something that's, I won't even say 6 months ago, 3 months ago, I didn't even know how to do. I'm teaching people how to get a check every single week, doing something they didn't know how to do that I do. What if I had said, I don't know how to do that. I don't know anything. I don't trust the stock market. Well, I ain't talking about no dang on stock market. I don't trust the stock market either. And I got stocks that are worth nothing. But I do trust foreign exchange because countries ain't going to go out of business. But what if you have an opportunity, something like that? What if you have an opportunity where somebody says, can you come and be a collaborative author on my book? Would you convince yourself, well, you know what? I haven't written in a long time. What if somebody says, hey, like it happened to me? One of my good girlfriends, she is a nationally known singer. And she sings on some of the largest stages literally in the country and in the world. And I was sitting in the audience to come in, and I was sitting in the audience supporting her. And she said, I've got some friends in the audience that know to sing. Now, I told Paula, I said, Paula, don't come back and say nothing to me. I'm here to support you. Her name is Paula Champion. If you've never seen her, just Google her. Amazing voice, loves God, woman, so classy, beautiful voice. And I'll be doggone if that girl didn't come back there with that microphone. I'm sitting all the way in the back in the dark section. All right? And let me tell you something. She came back there. And she said, come on up here and sing. I said, I don't want to come on up here and sing. Now, at this point, the whole audience is looking at me. I go, so I didn't embarrass myself or her. I go up there, and she said, sing this song. I said, I don't know the words. How much more embarrassing can you be? But the Bible says, I will not have you be ashamed. So I'm like, okay, Holy Spirit, start telling me what to do. I know how to scat. So I said, okay, I don't know that part, but I know this part. And I listened to the melody, and I started scatting to the melody. And she was like, everybody, give her a hand. They started screaming and hollering. I was sat in my seat. But when I was leaving out the door, an unexpected opportunity came to me. The owner of the Velvet Note, one of the most elite listening rooms in the state of Georgia. Listen, let me tell you something. The owner said, would you consider doing a set here? Now, this is where the creme de la creme come and perform. This is where it is so serious that they don't even allow more than 60 people to come in. It's ritzy, y'all. It's highbrow, y'all. And I said, what? I said, no, I'm not doing that. I came here to support my girl. She said, okay. When I got outside the door, my husband said, are you crazy? You've been saying you wanted to go back on your bucket list. You wanted to be able to sing. Now that you're not pastor, you want to be able to sing jazz. You want to be able to sing music that speaks to the soul and the heart. You want to be able to command an audience where you can take them through the emotional transition of singing love music and taking them into the presence of the Lord with worship. Why would you tell this woman who's going to pay you and give you an opportunity that people cannot even get on? My musicians was like, how'd you get that gig? We know people that's been waiting 2 and 3 years to get a call back. I didn't realize what I had. I called her back and I said, first off, let me apologize. I started to second guess my ability. She said, I know your ability. I heard you. Although you was just scatting, I can only imagine what you can do if you sang. Here's a date. I want you to let me know. Give me your bio. I'm going to put you up. We were sold out 2 shows. The opportunity that came after that, I was able to go and sing on other platforms. And I wasn't singing traditional gospel music. I was singing love music and sacred worship music. And listen, let me explain something to you. It ignited something in me that God had not forgotten my dreams like I had forgotten my dreams. God had not abandoned my dreams. And although it did not fit into confines of traditional religion, he still knew that that was something that he wanted to make come to pass for me because he'd given me the gift to sing. That thing that he put inside of me had not been abandoned by him, although it had been abandoned by me. How many things have been abandoned by you? How many hopes and dreams, and I know I'm going over, but how many hopes and dreams have been abandoned by you because you convince yourself you can't do it? Tamika says, yes, I've been sewing for a month and open door always opens. Come on here. Come on here. Testimony. Sharon said this. She said, God moved me to sow a seed into this fertile soil. And as I heard and saw something in this of God that I needed, I have to tell you that I have confidence in the boldness that has moved me to do something that I had feared doing. I did it on 8/18/18. No looking back. I'll be sowing again for sure. Good ground for sure. Thank you so much for saying that. Listen, you guys, if you have not sowed, go on and use the Cash App, the $ TYEAR, or PayPal, and you can go to paypal.me/Tierra McCrary. You spell my name TYEAR, MCCRARY. Look in the pin post. If you're on Facebook, you'll see it right there. Just open it up. I need you all to understand that God is trying to resurrect your dreams. They have been dead for long enough. He said, this is the time and the season of your life that I am going to start allowing you to not only reconnect, but to be reminded constantly till you can't even sleep that the thing that you have been settling doing is not the thing that I've called you to do. And it's not that you have to abandon that, but there's also that you don't not embrace what I've called you to do. Some of the things that you've been waiting for, some of the breakthroughs that you've been waiting for are sitting there waiting for you, but you've got to take the bull by the horns and say, I'm going to show up for me. Okay, you start a business. So what if it fails? People start to stop business all day long. Guess what? You didn't fail. You learned. You don't lose. You learn. The things that I learned from pastoring, baby, the things that I'm able to tell pastors, the people who want to start pastoring, I learned what not to do. Those were seen as failures of someone else. I learned. And it was a costly expense for them, but they were willing to look back and say, hey, Tier, don't do this. Or they didn't know to say, don't do that. But I saw it and I was like, Thank you so much, Teresa Sanders, for sewing. Thank you so much for the launch of your new business expansion. I'm agreeing with you. I'm agreeing with you, honey. I'm agreeing with you, Teresa. I'm agreeing with you. Check this out. I want you all to be mindful. And this is just part 1. Wow. I know this is a lot to take in. But so many of you all have abandoned you. I know. Kids, life, job, money, fear. Those are all real things. But none of them are strong enough to cause you to deny what God had put in your heart. That desire you have, that's what God put in your heart, that you should want it. God gives you the desires of your heart. That was a desire that God put in your heart 5 years ago to start your own interior design business. That was a desire that God put in your heart. Why are you not doing it? I don't know how. There's plenty of free classes on YouTube. There's no such thing as I don't know how. I don't have anybody that I can do it for, take your house and go find finds and go refurbish them and take pictures of them and put them on social media and say, hey, this is something I know how to do. I know how to organize things. You're a great organizer. Go and show it before and after somebody's closet, even if it was your kid's closet, how you organize that. What is it that you know how to do? You say, I don't have the money. I got plenty of people with money. I know how to get you some money, but you got to get into the business. They're not going to fund something that don't exist. They're not going to fund something that doesn't even have a plan. They're not going to fund something that they don't know how they're going to get their money back. The money is there. I have a list on my build business credit product that's at Madam CEO University business, the business credit builder. I give you a list of more than 250 people who specializes in giving brand new businesses as well as grants to minorities to do business. People that are in the military, that are not minorities, that have been in the military, family of military people, that will give you money right now if you got a plan. But some of you all haven't even started the plan. And I want to encourage you. Tomorrow we're going to pick this up. But I want to encourage you. Go sit down somewhere and write down, if money was no issue, what would I do? If traveling the world, evangelizing was no issue, what would you do? If you want to learn how to make some money, I can teach you. I can teach you how to trade. I can teach you how to start your own business. But it's going to take some money. Well, I don't have the money to start a business. I didn't say it had to be yours. You need to bring your creativity and your faith to the table. Even if you have to do it trembling. When I started my cosmetic line, I did it trembling. Scared. I ain't gonna lie to you. Some days I'm still scared. I'm dealing with something right now. I'm like, God, the next thing after this, how am I gonna get that done? And God reminds me, I'm the CEO of your company. It's not about how. It's about when. You start doing your part, I do the rest. God knows exactly how to get you what you need, but if he sees that you don't have the faith for the first part of the journey as they went, he knows that you'll never get to the point of where you're healed, and that's the place he wants you. And he even wants you to go further than that, because the Bible goes on to say that one came back and said, thank you. When you come back and you've received the healing that you need, your mind is right, your vision is right, your dream ability is right, your creativity is right. When you get to a point where you can see yourself bigger than where you are right now, you're willing to reconnect to your dreams, and you don't allow your hope to be deferred, and your heart grows sick. When you get to that point, and you come back and you say, God, thank you for resurrecting my dreams. Thank you for sending Bishop to help me to remember that it's not too late, that I can still do what it is inside my heart to do. Even while I'm working this job, while I'm only here so I can get the benefits. I get it. I hear that all the time. I needed to have some extra income because this is not enough, not enough to even make the things that I need to take care of, taking care of that, let alone doing my dreams. But God, I still believe that you are a manifester of dreams. I still believe that you desire certain things for me that I desire for myself, that I don't see how I'm going to do it. But God, I need you to hear my thankfulness, because I know where you have me, I'm going through this process. As on the other side, there's a promise. But God, even in the midst of my fear, in the midst of my frustration, in the midst of my uncertainty, in the midst of this uncomfortable place, and in this midst of this, so maybe the place of fear is where you have been so long that you're just used to being there, and it's easier to just cowl in the corner and say, you know what, that's all right, I'm just gonna take what I can get, I'm just gonna settle. Well, no, God says, stop it right now. Stop it. He's talking to you. Stop it. Stop settling. That's That's not the life I have for you. That's not the word I've spoken over your life. That is not the privilege that I've made. That's not the covenant that I've made. This is not even the promise that I made to your great, 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 great grandmother who prayed that her offspring will be blessed and wouldn't have such a hard time and they'd be able to do the things that she could only dream of, that your grandfather could only dream. Can you imagine the dreams and the hopes of the ideas of the people who had to work for the people who lived in the big house and prayed one day that hopefully I can get out of this thing called slavery and I can be in the big house too. And now you're living in a day and age that you can go and live in $1 million house if you had the money. The only thing that separates you from that in your dream is your ability to pursue it, to pull yourself out of this place called complacency and fear, to take back the ownership of your heart and allow the enemy, tell the enemy, I'm not listening to you anymore. God made me a promise, and although I may not be able to see it, although I may not be able to trace it, and maybe my history speaks that failure has been in my history, but that's not going to be my future. Who am I talking to? Who am I talking to? If I'm talking to you, put it below. Who am I talking to? Y'all go on and share this. Who am I talking to? I'm talking to you. I know exactly who I'm talking to. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you. Yep, you. Can you imagine how that breaks God's heart when he sees that you're not able to have the things that he's already released to you? Can you imagine how it breaks God's heart? Can you, if you got children, do you know, have you ever saw your child's heart sickened because they couldn't get something they had their hearts set on for their birthday or Christmas? Or maybe somebody said something that broke a piece of who they are. That's the way God feels about us. And you grab your child and you say, baby, it's going to be okay. Baby, you don't have to give up on your dreams. Whoever told you that? Mommy, daddy, that's not true. We're going to work. We're going to do whatever we got to do. If I got to move heaven and earth, if I got to have 5 different jobs to make sure you get through college because your scholarship didn't come through, we're going to get it done. Listen, that's the talk you got to have with yourself. Stop abandoning your dreams. Somebody needs to see you be successful. Somebody needs to see you give yourself a chance when there was no chance. Somebody needs to see you walk through that door. Somebody needs to see you on the other side of the continent evangelizing. Somebody needs to see that. Somebody needs to pick up your book and see that you made it through domestic violence. Somebody needs to hear your story. Somebody needs to see you on a platform. Somebody needs to see this little brown girl that came from a little city called Cleveland, Ohio, who now lives in a city called Atlanta, who thought she was going to be preaching for life, go in and take the marketplace by storm and make tens of thousands of dollars a week. Somebody needs to see that. Somebody needs to, there's a young girl that needs to see, there's a girl that comes on Facebook and on Periscope and on YouTube and all these places that went from one place and now she is building a multi-million-dollar cosmetic firm, cosmetic company that appeals to women who are not afraid to be the kind of boss that they need to be in their own lives, whether they're in the boardroom or the bedroom, whether they're checking out in the playroom or whether they're walking in commanding a room. It doesn't make a difference. Somebody needs to see our success. God needs us to be successful, and then he needs us, even in the process of contradiction, when things are not going perfect, to come back and say, God, thank you for the opportunity. And then he does something in return. He begins to heal the areas that had deficits, so that when people see you, they don't see your history. They'll look at you and say, nah, that can't be your past. You used to do what? You went through what? Nah, that wasn't. I know you lying. You don't even look like what you've been through. That's when you get to the healed place and you can tell your story. And you're not debilitated by your story. You're not crippled by what was. You're not crippled by what could happen. But you're motivated to say, you know what? That was a part of my qualifier. Now let me show you what I did to qualify. Well, listen, thank you all for sewing. Thank you for your time. We're going to get back to part 2 on tomorrow. All right. If you have not, those people who commented initially, if you have not gone into my inbox, make sure that you go into my inbox. And don't just be a taker. Don't just be a receiver. Go on and share this. Push the button. Help somebody get reconnected. You're welcome, sweetheart. Help somebody reconnect to their dreams. Help somebody else get out of the position of having a broken spirit, a broken heart. Thank you so much, Elder Broderick. Help somebody else. Sow your seed. What do you believe in God for? If you are interested in learning how to be one of those 3 people that I'm going to teach to make $5,000 a month, if that's you, doing something that you've never done, but it's as easy as copy, paste, wait, profit. You want to figure out how to turn $1 into $300? You want to be trained? I'm already a 7-figure earner. You want to be trained to do what some of my predecessors and myself do? It's going to cost you $195 plus tax, $212 to get access to the platform so I can teach you. So I'm letting you know now. But if you're saying, if I can invest that, and you're telling me this is what I can do, and I'm learning the skill that I can take, this Bible that I can take and teach to my family for the rest of my life so I don't have to worry and struggle anymore. If you're telling me you can do this, that I'm going to trust you, I want you to inbox me. Great, 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 great. I'm glad you saw that, Tamika. Listen, it's time for you to change. It's time for you to reconnect. Rise and build. It's time for you to believe again. I'll come back to you tomorrow, encourage you some more, stretch you some more. Thank you for being a part of the Morning Stretch. This is Bishop Tia McCrary. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.